New Wave Community Media.
It's just J-Mike.
Hola.
What's happening?
No cap in my cap. Just kidding. Hi, Neffy. How are you this lovely morning, evening, afternoon?
I'm doing pretty good, Feel relaxed and ready to go.
Nice, nice. I actually want to talk to you about something today.
Okay, what's up?
So we've been doing this podcasting thing for quite some time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, about 3 years. We're going on 3 years, so 2.5.
Wow.
Yeah, because we started in 2021.
Wow.
Wow.
Anyways, so we've been doing it for that time, for that long, and it's been amazing. It's been great.
Oh, yeah.
But there are some things that we've learned along the way.
A lot of things.
A lot of lessons learned.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that. Welcome back to another episode of Everything But Perfect. Let's start off with what we like to call the Chit Chat Challenge, where we serve up a conversation starters to help keep the conversation alive. This week's question is, what can we do to make a real difference in the world?
Oh my gosh, I love this. This could go on and on and on and on and on. And this is a good one.
Yeah, I like it. So everybody go out there, get those conversations started, and let us know.
I really wanted to talk today about the lessons that we've learned while we've been podcasters. And I know normally we would have a story, but I wanted to kind of share our own story because why not? And just kind of highlight one of the biggest lessons that I think we've learned while we've been on this journey together.
Okay, let's get into it. I think if we're going to start the story, we got to start from the beginning. So I think from the
very, very beginning. So a long, long time ago, there was a volcano living all alone in the middle of the sea. Name that short film.
Oh my God. Lava.
Yes. No, as much as I wish my story was lava, because I love that story, this is not it.
Right.
Let's start our own, our own way.
All right.
So a long time ago, 3 years ago, we decided to embark on this journey of podcasting because why not speak into a mic?
No.
I like it.
Yeah. And it was fun because I think it was a way for us to create this platform to be honest, to just be ourselves and also have something for our future generations and for something to give also like our family and friends. I think we have a unique way of thinking, and we wanted to put that out there.
Exactly. And so we teamed up with an amazing group of people that helped us get this kind of rolling. And do you remember the very beginning, like before we launched?
Like right before, yeah. Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I was very excited. I was very excited because, we were telling like our family, our friends, and like, hey, we're going to have a podcast, stay tuned. And, we're like hyping it up, and everybody else was excited as well. We're like, oh yeah, let us know. Let us know. And we're like, all right, cool. And, it just kept it going. We were just happy, it was fun. It was something new. And we were thinking, all right, we have X amount of friends, X amount of family. We're like, hey, at least we have a core group of listeners that are supporters, so we're like excited, like, all right, cool. We're starting off on the right foot. Right. And then, launch time came. I remember we're all excited, and, we started again, like posting on Instagram, like, hey guys, here's our, what is it called? The first one, the teaser or whatever. We're like, hey, the teaser was going to come out I think on Thanksgiving. So I think we played it on Thanksgiving or something. And, Oh, the trailer. There you go. So, thank you notes from our executive director. So yeah, it was our trailer, and we played it at Thanksgiving to our family and stuff like that. And it was fun. It was like, all right, cool. We got this going.
Right.
And then what happened?
And we shared it with our friends, and everybody was like, yeah, we shared it on social media, and it was going great. And then we started with our first episode, which I love. I think that's one of my favorite ones because it tells the story of us.
Yeah.
And I just love our story. And we kind of continued to come up with new episodes. And then what happened? It kind of died down.
Yeah.
The support that we thought we initially had died down. And, I was like, man, fake bitches. Just kidding.
Wow.
No, not at all. I was like, this is interesting because one, I had never been in a situation like this. Right. And so I was like, well, again, podcasting is I think unique in that, like reading or audiobooks, right? Not everybody's into it.
Right.
And so I was thinking, I was like, oh, maybe, everybody has their own lives, right? Not everybody is always with headphones on or has the time to sit there and listen. And we quickly realized that, again, the support that we initially thought we were going to get wasn't fully there. And it kind of not like messed with us, but it was something that we had to learn to kind of like work with. I don't know.
Work through.
Yeah.
So then I remember during that time, I remember we were asking each other, like, is it something that we're doing? Like,
am I the problem?
Am I the problem? But I also got to say that was an expectation that we put on ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And that
there goes lesson one. Don't have high expectations. Just kidding. Just kidding.
It goes back to that was our like, we expected our friends.
Something. Yeah.
We expected, right? And then it came down to it, like we started rethinking, okay, well, podcast is, like you said, it's unique, but what are we trying to do? Get our story out there, right?
Right.
But at the same time, we also want to give value. So that's why we were like, all right, we might need to like change it up and maybe change our format or whatever. But at the same time, I felt that we stayed true to ourselves, what we wanted to do. So let's get those conversations started. So let's get into our conversation.
Yes, I wanted to talk about this, and today we're not having the story that we normally been sharing from other listeners and other social media creators, but it's still a story nonetheless, and it's ours, so it's even better. We've been podcasting for quite some time.
Yeah, 3 years because we started in 2021.
Yes,
so we're going on 3 years.
Yeah, and we kind of just. We just did it. Yeah. We just kind of went, did each step. I don't even know, quite frankly, how we ended up here. Yes, I do. But at the very beginning, it was all new.
Yeah.
And it was very, very scary.
Yeah.
And we eventually teamed up with our great, amazing producers that have now gone on and are working on amazing things. But at the very beginning, again, it was a little scary, but we did it.
Yeah. And I remember at the beginning, especially when we're going to drop our trailer, it was going to be on Thanksgiving. And I just remember being so excited and just knowing that we were hyping it up, we knew we were going to do a podcast. We're telling people, we're like, hey, we're going to do it. And they're like, all right, cool. Let's support it. They're going to be like, yeah, let us know when it drops. We're like, yeah, for sure. And it was fun because we were seeing the support firsthand, right? We were seeing the friends and the family getting excited and telling us, let us know. And so when we dropped the trailer during Thanksgiving, I even remember being even more excited because we showed it to our family and the people were there. And we're like, all right, cool, let's go, And then from that point, what happened next?
Crickets. Just kidding. No, we were able then to launch the first full episode, which is my favorite, Dangerously in Love. Go listen to it again. And we were getting still support. We're like, all right,
Yeah.
cool. People are listening. Like, this is going to be amazing. And we continued with more episodes. And I don't recall which number it was, but maybe I'd like to say by the fifth, maybe fifth, sixth, it kind of just dropped. And like, because we used to be like, oh, did you hear episode? Yeah. And then it was like, oh, no, I didn't. I'm like, okay, cool. And then somebody else like, oh, did you hear the episode? No, I couldn't. Or no, I haven't. And then it was like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because we were kind of going through that. It was just like, we kind of felt that we were going to get that support. But then, like you said, once it fizzles out, the thing is that we kept going, right? We're like, okay, cool. Like, it's fine. You know, we're just going to keep going because this is what we want to do. But the cool thing is that I remember a little bit after that, we had our quarterly meeting with our producers and they went over the numbers and we were like, all right, cool, let's see. And the interesting part about that was that they showed us like a kind of like a heat map of the world. And we're seeing that it was like all over the United States. We even had, I think, a listener in like Russia. So it was like
Mother Russia.
Shout out to that person. Thank you for listening. But we were noticing that it was more than just our immediate family and friends, you know, and even though we felt that it was fizzling out with them, it was also gaining popularity elsewhere, which was also an eye-opening for us.
Yeah. Yeah. And these were the things we didn't think about when we were actively trying to push this podcast out, right? Because you're only thinking of in that moment and you're only thinking of that small circle, your best friend, your neighbor, whoever, right? That's it. Like, so if it's 10 people, like, these 10 people, oh my gosh, I can't wait to tell them. I can't wait for them to see it, which is great. But, oh my gosh, like how small thinking, I feel like it was very small, like thinking of us because there's millions of people in this world. And a lot of them have access to listen to to podcasting, right? And so we're like, we can reach all these people on top of our 10 friends or our 10 family members. And we were able to see that when we had that meeting.
Yeah. And from there, you know, we just kind of continue.
Yep.
But it does kind of bring us back to kind of what we wanted to say and like what we learned from it, right? Because as though, you know, we're still growing, we're still pushing it, we know that there's still our friends and family that do listen to it. Awesome. But then I think the lesson behind it is the setting those expectations, because at the beginning, we expected them to listen. We wanted them to listen, right? But at the same time, it's not fair for us to expect that, because just because they're friends and family, they know our story. You know, I feel some of our friends were even there when we first met. So the Danger Engineers Love, they were like, oh, we know that, we were there. So kind of having that expectation was not okay. And I think that was a good lesson to be learned.
You felt it was not okay, like in general, or it was just kind of like a mistake because we were new to this whole podcasting world?
Yeah, because it was more like we had that expectation, but we didn't know how much more we could grow it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you're right. And I mean, it's also like in general, when you set expectations upon others, what happens?
Yeah. You tend to not achieve them. or reach them. Yeah.
You're going to see failure because it's not something that you can control. Now you are kind of putting that task onto somebody else and you can't control that person. Right. But it's interesting. And I do want to add my own little lesson that I've learned. And I can only say that I've learned it now because the Corey that started the podcast is not the same one that is sitting here right now. And so it's not easy, again, to start something new, to start a journey, to start to whatever project. It's not easy. It takes courage and it takes hard work. It takes a lot of things. And so I feel like for me personally, I'm like what I struggled was with the why not? I'm not asking you for money. I'm not asking you for, for you to physically be here. Right. And so I was like, why can't the people that know us support us? And now I realize that surely I wasn't asking them to do anything crazy, but I'm asking for time. And that is so valuable.
Yeah.
And, some of us have extra time, some of us have no time. Like, we're all busy. We're all adults. A lot of our friends have kids. My family, they work, and it's, now I can say it was unfair to, like you said, put that expectation on them of time. Time is so valuable. It's something we get back. And, at the same time, I love myself and I think I'm great, but the world does not revolve around my friends and family members have other things that are of priority to them. And so now that I can realize and say that, I'm like, oh wow, like it all makes sense, right? Why that support initially kind of like trickled.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say we lost it, because I don't think we did. But I also no longer expect it. We put it out because we want to, and it's what makes us happy.
Yeah. And the other good thing about that is also like knowing that or changing that mindset, because I feel that before we were just like, why can't they listen to us? But what if our episodes didn't resonate with them? Like, yes, we think we're cool, but maybe they don't.
They're like these losers.
Yeah. The other thing too, what if people don't listen to podcasts? I remember I never listened to a few years ago, and then now that's all I listen to. But some people rather listen to music. So and also just kind of their point of view is also a good thing for us. Now we see it,
right?
And I feel that now it's okay. When before it was like, man, like we it did get to a point where we're feeling some type of way. We're like, man, not even our friends are supporting us. But getting past that, I think was another important lesson that we had to go through and learn. And now I feel that we're a lot stronger, a lot mature in that sense, and we're just going to keep pushing.
Now we got new friends that listen. Just kidding. No, but it's amazing though, because again, we are the ones that started this. Why did we do it? Because we want to. We felt a certain passion for it, or a love, whatever you want to call it. And so at the end of the day, as much as I would love to have 1 million listeners, I am so happy that I get to kind of come on here when we do and reach the people that listen to us. And I know that it's going to keep on growing because we're growing, and that's just life. But it was kind of like one of those things that kind of shakes you a little bit.
Yeah.
And again, and now I realize that it's just like a life lesson in general. And it's not just to podcasting. I experienced it in my own social media journey recently, because I have my own goals and things I want to accomplish. And so I turned to social media and I said, this is going to help me. And surely I got over the fear of posting. I got over the fear of just, being silly, saying stuff in front of a camera and posting it. And again, for a second, I was like, well, at least I'll have my friends that will support me, that can like it, that can share it. And then again, I was like, crickets. And I was like, what the heck, right? But then something crazy happened. And I got other people, random people, supporting me. And I was like, wait a minute, again. Yes, I know I have my circle, but there's so much more than that. The circle expands and expands. And so now I'm reaching people, maybe, who knows, maybe all over the world, for sure, around the country. But it's that thing. It's just do the things for you, and not because somebody else is going to come and help you and support you and like it. And if you do that, that's the expectation that you're going to lose. You can't rely on, and I don't want to say you can't rely on your friends or family, because that sounds really bad, but you need to be okay with not having their support when you feel that you need it. And this this is not to say that when you really need them, they're not going to support you, because I would hope that if I needed help or I was going through a very difficult time, my friends and my family would be there. So, but these things, they're not life or death.
Right.
Just social media, whatever, podcasting, whatever. But yeah, it was something that, again, I had to learn again. And who knows, maybe on my next venture, hopefully I don't feel that way. But who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I think one of the things that I want to say is, what type of advice would you give to somebody who started, like you said, you started the new TikTok, you're kind of going through that. And what's your handle on that, by the way?
My what?
Your handle on TikTok.
I'm sorry. I was like thinking of the advice. My handle is at Corey Speaks.
So
KORISPEAKS. And somebody asked me today, said, Corey Speaks, what do you speak on? I said the truth. So there you go.
That's cool. But so advice to new people who are trying to venture out and want to do something like this, what would you say?
I think that first and foremost, you need to be okay with, I don't want to say being uncomfortable, but yeah, I guess I'll say being uncomfortable. And what I mean by that is because whatever it is that you want to go on, maybe it's something that you've never done before. That's nobody in your family has done. None of your friends have done it. And so it's going to be new. And something new that is foreign to you in a way is scary and it's uncomfortable, which is why a lot of people don't try new things, don't follow their dreams, because they're uncomfortable and they're scared. So that'd be first and foremost, okay with being uncomfortable. And then what is the reason that you're doing what you want to do? And I think that's exactly what happened to us. Why were we doing it? We're not doing it because our friends are going to think we're cool, right? We're doing it because we want to. We want to sit here and talk about our life, our experience, give advice, and so on and so forth. So why are you doing what you are doing? And if that why is to show off,
for clout,
to be viral, to be all these things, I was like, I'm not saying they're wrong, but it's going to make it really hard for you to, one, be successful and be happy at it. You got to just do stuff because you got to do it, because you want to do it. And do I have a third one? Just be yourself. I think we're so scared of being ourselves that we become a little bit miserable and stuff. And I'm not saying that our friends are this or anything, but there is a lot of hate, especially on social media, right? Yeah. There's why are you doing that? And the comments are bad, they're mean and stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So which is intimidating for a lot of people, right? You're being vulnerable, you're showing your face, you're talking, you're whatever. Thankfully, I found a community that is really supportive and everybody is super nice, but that's not always going to happen. And so, be yourself and do what you want to do, whether it's podcasting, whether it's social media, whether it's dancing, whatever, and I do want to say that I have, my friend actually was just calling me right now, and she's super great. I do admire her because she was the one that kind of ventured out into new things. And I saw it firsthand, and I'm like, wow, she really is out here doing things that she said she was going to do. And it was scary. And surely she didn't succeed all the time. She failed, but even in that failure, it was a success. And I remember supporting her in the way that I could when she was going through her business ventures. And it felt really good. It felt so good to support my friend, a woman, of course, me, a Latina woman. And so now that is what I want to do. I want to support other people. If they then choose to support me, great. I love it. We're changing the world. If they don't, then that's it. Like, what am I going to do? Right. So yeah, shout out to her.
Nice. Well, congratulations. No, that's cool. Because I feel that, and I have noticed that once you kind of like change, like, and you just kind of let go, things just happen, like it's crazy. Like, like your experience, like you grew like significantly, like in a short period of time. But why? Because you're able to connect with people. You're able to be yourself. You're able to be authentic. And I think that is a big part of it. Yeah. And I think that's another lesson too. It's just like, you just have to be true to yourself. I think the authenticity comes out, and whoever resonates with it, that's who you're going to attract. Mm-hmm. And then from that, it grows. And I think that's what you really want, is that organic growth, just naturally.
Yeah. And I think that's the goal for our podcast. And I think we started off with just like, this is going to be fun. And now that is what we want to do. We really want to attract the right people that can really learn from our stories, our experiences, take on those messages, and then, work on themselves, or then tell someone else, and so on and so forth. And so that is the key right there. And so whoever wants to be on this journey is amazing. Let's go through it together. If you don't, that's fine. Join us when you're ready. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to join us, that's great. Good for you. You know what I mean? Like, there's no hate. There's nothing. There's no animosity towards anybody. And this is not an episode where if our friends do listen to the one episode, no, but if our friends and family are like, oh, what, like, this is not one of those episodes where we're like speaking ill or, like feeling some type of way. It's just, we're just telling the truth.
Yeah.
That is what we felt at the beginning. And this is where we are now. Mm-hmm. And, that's it.
Yeah. So I'm excited for this podcast because I feel that new things are coming. I think that we have big plans that are going to come to light soon. And I'm excited. I'm excited to do this with you, to step into our new, the next chapter in our lives. And I don't know if you're ready, but I know I am.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
But thank you again for tuning into our show. We appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, remember, love is an endless adventure. So cherish your connection and keep those conversations flowing.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate each and every one of you.
And if you guys want to engage more, make sure to visit us at www.newwavemedia.org. Make sure to subscribe to EBP on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcast. And don't forget to follow us at everythingbutperfect.podcast on Instagram.
And remember, love is an endless adventure, so cherish your connections and keep those conversations flowing.
So thank you very much and have a good night.
Bye.
Later.